on, everybody? We're going to put another trade gap. Today, we're going to be going over the trade that I took today. The one trade that I took, another break even. So let's go ahead and just jump right into it, ladies and gents. So here we are, market open. London highs here, London low is here. Holy shit. Let me pause this really quick. I gotta use piss. All right. So here we are at 9:30. So the things that we can evaluate before we are coming into the market is how we have over here on ES, we do have a 4-hour gap. All right. And then here, in Q, we're holding this hourly gap, as well as we do have this new day opening gap. Previous day highs are all the way up here. I feel like longs now next week will probably play out with this new day opening gap, and we have, look at these fucking stacked highs on the higher time frame. So, but let's just go ahead and dive into what actually happened. Alrighty. But wait, I don't think those are. Yeah, these are. Okay. So this is the 920 candle. 925. Okay. So immediately with the 930 opening candle, we put in a SMT between the indexes where we took out on NASDAQ, we took out London lows, and on ES we didn't. So this kind of was confirming that maybe we might win a long, but I really wasn't too. I was very patient coming into today. As you know, we were holding this 1-hour gap, so don't really want to long into a 1-hour gap that's already been held. But now that we have tapped into it, we could move above it. You know what I mean? But let's just see what happens, okay? And then so really the only targets are, and then also I had a loose bias with previous day lows here and previous day highs here. We are slightly closer to previous day lows, but with the new day opening gap, this low resistance liquidity here, and this is a daily unfilled up here, bearish daily unfilled. So if we do want to be biased, it's very well that we could come up, tap into this, and then move lower, but we obviously wanted to. Funny enough, I literally predicted this happening. I'll show you guys that in a minute, but let's dive right back into it. SMT being put in, all right, and we open this 5-minute here, which we filled with this 920 candle. This 15-minute gets ran through, bullish conflict. So now we have, I mean, we already were, but really just confirming my bearish bias. Now 15-minute gets ran through, 5-minute gets filled. Okay. Bam. And then once again, we tap back into the 5-minute gap, and then we continue to move lower. All right. So now I do want to see more price action build up because I'm sure that there's a trade, like a super trade that forms here, super trade. Yeah, so we have this 2-minute. I think we even have a 3-minute. No, we don't. So I seen some people taking this, which it's not a good trade because we move up into the 5-minute, okay, and we're holding it. But it's like, what are we targeting, bro? We're targeting somewhere where there's an SMT, and we're also targeting somewhere where there's this high resistance liquidity. We've taken out all of this LR and then taken out London lows. So it's like, if we want to move higher, we're just going to move through this, okay? So just not a good enough trade for me to take personally. As you can see, it would have played out. I've seen some people taking this, but yeah, played out, but I just didn't like it. It looked like shit to me personally. Can't lie, because I don't think I traded until a while later. So let's go ahead and see what we're doing. Build up some price action. Are we going to form the candle, or are we going to play with our dick all day? Nice. Oh, it was a doji. Was that formed? Okay. Alrighty, so now you can see. Holy shit, bro. Voice crack of the fucking century, bro. Now we can see, overly confirming my bearish bias. I'm 100% certain that we're going to move to previous day low now. It's from this leg here. We've moved, taken out this liquidity, displacing through this swing now, moving back up into the CE of the 5-minute leg. And let's see if we move lower and really confirm that. We do. We move lower. Awesome. Fucking gracious. Okay. Now, I did not want to take this because there's LR right at our stop, okay? We have our stop up here. but I feel like we now have these equal highs. And then we're also in a 5-minute gap, okay? Or not in a 5-minute gap, but I believe we're in a 3-minute gap. Or no, I don't. Just the low resistance liquidity I don't like. And then also like we do inverse both there. But I feel like again, we want to build up a little bit. I want to see a little bit more price action being built. So, yeah. Is this what I took? I took a 1 minute after. Yeah, no, so we still haven't formed that. So I really wanted to see, which honestly this would have played out, but that's okay. So then I believe it's here. We move back into the 2 minute. And honestly, now that I'm looking, okay, I can definitely see like this would have been a good trade. We're protected up here with this 5 minute. We're clearly bearish. We were so close. If I would have entered on this, stops up here. I just don't like how we have equal highs at my stop. That's what just didn't make it a really good trade for me. Equal highs at my fucking stop and no gap protecting this. If this was a gap right here and then we move down, so obviously we don't want to move any lower, this would have been a pretty good trade. This would have been very, very swell. And now this did play out, but it's just like equal highs at my stop, okay? So I want my stop to be a high resistance area where price isn't going to want to come back into that, okay? Now I see a really good trade forming. We move back into this 2 minute gap, okay? So then I'm going to go on the 1 minute and try to find some form of entry here, okay? So bam, I'd like to see this get inversed, targeting previous day lows, and you can have your stop. I had my stop here because if we are truly bearish, we're going to move to these first, and then I had this 5 minute swing here as my break even point, okay? So let's see what happens. Okay, now we've interacted with the gap. Interacted with the gap again, so I'd like to see the next candle ideally inverse this, or else I really don't want to take the trade. Kind of makes me fade it away a little bit. Perfect. Alrighty, so now we have this next candle, okay, and we've taken out this lower time frame liquidity, and now this swing high here is protected by this 2 minute fair value gap here, okay? So it's very nice. Very, 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 very fucking nice. And we have this 2 minute as well, so you can see bearish confluences are getting schmacked, okay? Now, the only thing is that we do kind of have this LR here, but it's clearly bearish, and we're going to want to move to these previous day lows before continuing higher, okay? High time frame is bearish. We ran through a 15-minute gap previously. We're holding 5-minute gaps. We're holding an hourly bearish gap. It's very clear that we want to move to here, or we pretty much are going to have to move to here before we continue moving lower, alrighty? So let's go ahead and enter this. Take profit to previous day lows, and my stop loss at this bang, bang, shebang right here, okay? So now let's see what happens. So at this point, okay, ES, we put in, this SMT obviously doesn't matter, but we put in, on ES, we take out my break-even point, okay? So this is kind of where I did go wrong, because if I would have just left it alone, I would have been fine. But now I'm thinking, okay, it's possible that we could see a reversal here with how extended we are to the downside. You know what I mean? We could potentially, we have these 5-minute gap up here that we haven't filled yet. So it's very plausible that we could move up, okay? Because the market never adheres to what you want it to do. You know what I mean? So at this point, I move my stop to break even. And then I get stopped out, okay? And then we can see, plays around for a little bit, hits my break-even point here, runs to those previous day lows, okay? Winning trade, in my book, I really did. I like this trade. For me, it was a little discretionary, We did have, I believe we might have had a 15-minute gap. I don't know. Yeah. So, and we even opened with the 10-15 candle. We opened a 15-minute gap up here, which is why after ES took out my break-even point, I moved that to break-even just to be safe. You know what I mean? Because on the 15-minute, on the higher time frames, the bias did align, especially with this 1 hour gap getting held. It's very clear that this is the next draw that we want to move towards. SMT as well. It was pretty beautiful in my eyes running through this previous 15-minute, but I believe with how extended we are here that we could want to move, and I believe we have a 5-minute gap as well. Yeah, we opened this 5-minute gap and opened a new 5-minute leg. So it's like we could move up to that as well, because you just want to be, it's all probability. You know, this trade didn't have to play out. This trade could have went very bad for me, but it was more probable that it was going to win, and it did end up winning, but it was just the fact that we took out this first. Okay, so it was really nothing crazy for me. I think honestly, after I could have got another entry here. Okay, after we create this gap, and then, but it's just like, where's my stop gonna be? Like, that's just not good. Hella low resistance liquidity at my stop. Okay, and that's not, you want to trade, you want your stop to be in high resistance, so it just rocket towards your take profit. You know what I mean? So very good trade today in my eyes. I'm not gonna lie, I really like this trade. There was another trade here. We had a nice 3-minute inverse, which, oh no, I already broke that down. I already broke that down, right? Was it the 2 or 3-minute inverse here? But it's like you're targeting high resistance. Oh no, it was up here. We had the 2-minute, 1 minute. I believe that the highest time frame inverse was the 2-minute here. I believe I already broke this down, just to prove it one more time. What are we targeting? High resistance liquidity, bro. We've taken out all of this low resistance, so it's like, this is a shitty trade. This is like a fucking C trade. Okay. The only thing that we have is this hour gap getting held, and then, like, it's honestly not terrible, but the target is just buns, bro. And in reality, like, the thing that does help you is you do have previous day lows here, all right? So honestly, like, this would have been fucking goated, but it's just like not super probable that would happen. We'd want to see retraces before we do that. We do see the retrace here, so not terrible. I'd give this like a B, or I'd give this honestly a C in my opinion. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. That was the trade from me today. Break even. I made $19 here for all the pocket watchers. $19. I don't ever lie about this shit, man. What business do I have lying? But yeah, that's the trade that I took today. So I appreciate you guys. I'm hopping off the charts. You can see my real-time executions here. Literally exactly the trade that I took. Entered literally here right after this gets inversed. I didn't have the best, but it's obviously, you can't enter on this candle. You can't enter on this candle when you wait for, when my entry model is this candle. This is inverse. But yeah, I'm off here, guys. I love you. You guys have a great rest of your day. Mwah.